you believe that Trump violated the peaceful transfer of power, a key principle that of American democracy that we must uphold?
Are you in high school?
Yeah.
So I wasn't anywhere near Washington that day. I have nothing to do with what happened that day. Obviously, I didn't enjoy seeing, what happened. But we've got to go forward on this stuff. We cannot be looking backwards and be mired in the past.
He wasn't anywhere near Washington. Did he have a TV? Was he alive that day? Did he see what was going on? I mean, that's one of the most ridiculous answers I've heard in this race so far.
You know what? Far be it from me. I mean, hey, Governor Christie is absolutely right, and I'm glad that he's checking DeSantis. And DeSantis is going to ask that person, "Are you in high school?" No, DeSantis, are you in high school? We got to go forward. We can't keep looking back. No, that's exactly. You don't want us to look back, and you sure enough guaranteeing that children won't learn history. So one thing you have to give Governor Christie credit for, that unlike a lot of Republicans, he is not afraid to go after Trump or DeSantis or anybody else. He gonna lay it down the way he sees it. Now, DeSantis was originally speaking at an event in New Hampshire when he made those asinine, juvenile comments. DeSantis also denounced the attack in 2021, but in 2022, he had a different approach because you know what? He don't have conviction. In 2022, DeSantis reiterated that lawbreakers should be held accountable, but he mocked continued news coverage of the insurrection. Of course he did, comparing January the 6th to Christmas for DC, New York media, and suggesting the attention was a way to attack Trump supporters while deflecting from problems plaguing the Biden administration. Man, are you kidding me? Are you actually serious? Florida, y'all owe us, you owe the rest of the country, because this is the disaster that you have given to us. DeSantis at the time also said, because we got receipts, when they try to act like this is something akin to the September 11th attacks, that is an insult to the people who were going into those buildings. And it's an insult to the people when you say it's an insurrection, and then a year later, nobody has been charged with it. The man is just out of his mind. And of course, we know multiple people have been found guilty of seditious conspiracy since then. No matter what trough, both Christie and DeSantis probably won't catch Donald Trump though in this GOP primary race. Polling updated 2 days ago indicates that this is where the polling is resting. And you see President Donald J. Trump right there, 57%. DeSantis is losing ground, and you got Christie at 2%. Dan?
I will say this as a neutral political observer, as much as I can say that sentence, at least for the Republican side. Christie is a wonderful gift to the Democratic Party. He's just gonna come in there, he has no chance of winning, and he's just gonna wreck through the entire thing. So I love that he's just throwing haymakers at DeSantis, he's throwing haymakers at Donald Trump, because one thing Christie gets, I guess that Donald Trump also gets, that Ron DeSantis thinks he gets, is that Christie and Donald Trump, their appeal is that they don't talk like politicians. They give straight talk. They're willing to just say, oh, actually he's lying. Oh, what was he even doing? Was he even alive? You wanna talk about crime? Let's talk about Trump here. Like, he talks like someone who's, like popping off at the bar, like, popping off just like in the street or whatever. That's the sort of populism that I think people like from politicians. Bernie as well is the same thing. You look at Ron DeSantis, he's calculating, he's sly, he's maybe doing the politics, maybe doing those kinds of things, and will be spinning that rhetoric on Fox News or whatever. But in addition to having the charisma of a piece of bamboo, like, he's just not a good, he doesn't understand that this is a purely vibes world in politics, all right? He doesn't fit the vibes. He's doing politics and policy barely, but he doesn't have the vibe of what people want from politics, which is someone who actually tells it like it is and isn't rehearsed. So this stuff is gonna, if it is being seen by Republican primary watchers, it's going to maybe resonate with them. I hope it will, because at least it's funny to watch Christie tear through them all.
Yeah, it is. To be continued. And this is not, DeSantis, he wants to get rid of major agencies. For a man that has such a disdain for government, why is he in it? I mean, government would be a lot smaller if he just says, hey, I'm out. I'm not gonna run for governor anymore. I don't want to run for president any longer because I just hate government just that much.
He's using his government to ban books, right? Like there's no one bigger government in this country right now than Ron DeSantis, if you really want to get into that point. So yeah, he's a weird political project and also like a demon, if you ask me.
Oh, I say one of the sons of Satan, because there are many.